matchup, the youngest team in the league, the VNS Griffins, taking on the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors once again. Both squads are hungry for a win to start today's action. The Griffins, still chasing their first victory of the season, are looking to bounce back with the help of key additions, former Spin Doctors Noy Pedrosa and JD Duywa as the leaders of this youthful team. And meanwhile, the Spin Doctors are coming off a tough 3-set loss against the King Crunchers, and they'll be eager to turn things around today, only here where power meets passion. Spikers serve.
It is a Friday triple header right here at the Paco Arena in Manila. VNS Griffins, one of the youngest teams so far in the Invitational Conference of the Spikers Turf, going up against one of the most veteran teams here in the SAVOUGE Aesthetics. That's going to be a fun matchup. First of 3 matches we have happening today. And there's the full docket. VNS looking for their first win as they take on SAVOUGE, who's coming off a loss. Meanwhile, USD and Alpha Insurance both are coming off wins, while the last games today, both teams coming off losses. They will try to bounce back. Hi everybody, thanks for watching us on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and Filipinas Live. You saw Denise Valdez-Sancho earlier. I'm Eric Tipan alongside Yos Yoson. Yos, it's going to be a great matchup. Very early, a lot of teams trying to get rhythm, trying to get some wins before we get deeper into the competition.
SAVOUGE have an up and down start this conference. They lost crisscross in 3 straight sets, but on the other hand, VNS, they still trying to wait for their first win this conference, because we all know that only the top 4 teams will continue on to the next phase of our conference.
All right, still very early, like what we mentioned, so a lot of time for these teams to catch up. Take a look at the team standings to give you an idea of where your favorite Spikers Turf teams are so far in this conference.
Yep, we have here SAVOUGE, who lost against Alpha Insurance and Crisscross on their last game, but they managed to win 2 games against our collegiate teams, which is USC and the FEU. On the other hand, we have VNS here, who lost their 3 last games this conference.
All right, let's talk about the games. The last game of both these teams, the VNS Griffins coming off a loss against a collegiate team. The USD Gameville 1-4 against the VNS Griffins.
That's right. They managed to extend the game in 4 sets with the error-prone USD. They produced more than 30 error in that game, and on the other hand, VNS still trying to wait for their first win in this conference.
Take a look at the statistics there.
That's right. As I've said earlier, USD gave up 34 big points on their errors, but they managed to give 74 spikes on that game. That's why VNS having a hard time to stop the firepower of USD.
Now the VNS Griffins, they've had a very young lineup for the last at least 4 or 5 conferences of the Spikers Turf. One of their newest acquisitions playing for the first conference with them, Axel Book, with a double-digit performance.
The only player who managed to reach double digits on their last game against USC, we have here Axel Book from San Beda University. Also played for Santa Rosa City, that's right, on their previous games. But he's considered one of the veterans here on VNS.
You see the numbers of Axel Book, so they're going to rely heavily on him. He's going to get a lot of touches, that's for sure, along with RK Bedino and several other key players, Noy Pedrosa. So those are the names you've got to remember once the action starts going between these 2 teams, VNS, of course, and SAVOUGE. Now, speaking of SAVOUGE, let's take a look at their last game. It was tough. They went up against one of the favorites in the Invitationals in the King Crunchers, and they lost in 3.
That's right, no? Itong SAVOUGE naman, nagkaroon na sila ng panalo all throughout the conferences. Lahat ng teams natalo nila except for Crisscross King Crunchers. Yung medyo nahihirapan sila sa firepower na binibigay nitong Crisscross King Crunchers. with the middle attacks of Crisscross with their defense, net defense. Everything is just working for Crisscross King Crunchers on their last game.
Crisscross really playing very well so far in the Invitational Conference. They took down the defending champions in the Super Spikers. As you take a look at how they demolished the SAVOUGE Aesthetics team.
That's right. Ito naman, no, for Crisscross, for SAVOUGE, nagkaroon sila mas madaming spikes against Crisscross, but yun nga, yung errors naman nila, doon sila nagkaroon ng problema on their last game against Crisscross. And also, the blockings of Crisscross, as I've said earlier, at talagang pinakita nila yung blockings ng Crisscross dito.
So many names to depend on for the Spin Doctors, including Mark Calado, but Gilles Torres, we gotta put him on the spotlight after a great performance against the King Crunchers.
Yes, it's a battle of middle attackers on their last game, but the only player for SAVOUGE who managed to reach double digits on their last game is Gilles Torres, who managed to get 10 points, 8 attacks, 1 block. Actually, 2 blocks on their last game.
So he's going to have to step up along with Calado, Petco, and so many others if they are to bounce back and get a win here today. First game of our triple header. You want to join in on the conversation? Don't forget to use the hashtag SpikersTurf2025. All right, we'll send it over courtside for the opening introductions of our first game today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paco Arena in the city of Manila. This is the 2025 Invitational Conference of the Spikers Turf, where power meets passion. This is the preliminary round, match number 15. Let us welcome both teams, the VNS Griffins and their challenger, the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors. Introducing our officials for this match. Our first referee, Ms. Jocelyn Del Rosario, International Referee. Second referee, Mr. Daniel Palada, National Referee. Let's now meet the starters. First, for the VNS Griffins, beginning with their outside hitter number 1, Kimi Liray. Setter number 3, Howard Guerra. Outside hitter number 6, Axel Buok. Middle blocker number 14, Taidus Villacruzes. Opposite hitter number 15, RK Medino. Another middle blocker, number 19, John Diwa. Their starting libero, number 2, Joshua Cruz. Head coach for Venus, Mr. Rob Ocampo. And for the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors, beginning with their outside hitter number 1, Sherry Caritativo. Middle blocker number 4, Gilles Torres. Outside hitter number 6, Mark Calado. Opposite hitter number 10, Norel Sanama. Setter number 13, Michael Imperial. Another middle blocker number 23, Daniel Nicolas. Their starting libero, number 5, Rico Marmeto. Head coach for SAVOUGE, Miss Sydney Calderon. And this is match number 15, preliminary round between the VNS Griffins and SAVOUGE Static Spin Doctors.
Starting lineup, no change whatsoever for Coach Ralph Ocampo. And we mentioned how only Van Book 16 points. Medino had 8. Meantime, a tiny tweak for Coach Calderon here, as Sanama and Imperial will be the starters here. Imperial will be the starting setter in place of Narciso. And Reyes Betco also coming off the bench. Sanama didn't score in their last game against the King Crunchers, although he did have a really good debut with 13 points against the Insurance Protectors. Caritativo coming off an 8-point performance plus 15 receptions for the Spin Doctors in their last game. Van Book, you just saw on your screens, there's Coach Sydney Calderon. All right, gonna be a big matchup here for the Blue Shirts. These Griffins, yes, they're looking for their first win in 4 games. They've lost 3 in a row.
Yes, they got some wins on their sets, but they need to get a win for sure in this conference, because we all know that only the top 4 teams will move on to the semifinals, and then they will be joined by 2 guest teams.
One from Japan, one out of Australia. Those are the at least the initial listing for the Invitational Conference. Nice looking serve. And Caritativo. First attack going wide for Shawi.
2 straight points for VNS.
This is the kind of start you want for Coach Ralph Ocampo. This is a very young team. The Griffins, their starting setter, Howard Guerra, number 3, is only 15 years old. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, how much of a developmental grassroots kind of a program VNS is running. So far, so good for them. They have developed so many great volleyball talent. That's Caritativo. 1 attack fault, 1 service fault.
A slow start for SAVOUGE this set.
Served by Diwa. Good pass by Rico Marmeto. And there's Gilles Torres. We talked about him. Coming off a good performance.
Finally, a good side out for SAVOUGE. The only player who reached 2 digits on their last game. Gilles Torres, 10 points on their last game against Crisscross King Crunchers.
Well, he scored in double digits last 3 games for the Spin Doctors. 10 against FEU, 12 against UST, and then 10 again, like what Yos mentioned, against the King Crunchers. Guerra, underhand set. And that hit by Van Book is outside.
For sure, abangan talaga to dito ng SAVOUGE, Book. But a challenge will be called here by VNS.
On that hit by Book, they're saying there's a block touch because the initial call by Jocelyn De Rosario, the first referee, is it was outside. VNS Griffins in the Open Conference this year, they finished 4th out of 6 teams. In the Invitational Conference last year, they finished 8th out of 10 teams. So it hasn't been their best finish so far, 4th in both Open Conference in 2022 and Open Conference this year. So they haven't really made it to the podium just yet.
Of course, being one of the teams na nagpo-produce ng iba-ibang players, so grassroots talaga. So for sure, medyo madaming mawawala talaga agad dito sa VNS. Kaya naman medyo nahihirapan sila makarecover and magkaroon ng podium finish this conference.
But take a look at, I mean, you can even tell, just looking by the faces of these are all basically kids. Number 15 is RK Medino, he's 16 years old. Number 3, we talked about it, Howard Guerra, only 15 years old. mean, the future of volleyball, they're right there. Number 14 is Titus Villacruz. He's 17 years old. Van Book is the oldest player at 22.
Still young, for sure. But in this team, siya na yung pinaka-senior so far in this lineup. Or in the
goes
court.
to show you. And then Kim Lirai wearing number 1 there. He's only 18 years old. So this entire lineup on the floor, except for Boop, they're all teenagers.
For sure, but very good experience ang makukuha nila dito sa Spikers Turf.
And nice little fake there by Van Book.
Imagine as young as 17, no, nakakaharap mo na yung mga veterano sa volleyball.
That's true. I mean, across the net, you've got 25-year-olds, 23-year-olds. A lot more experience than they are, for sure. Combination play. Calado is turned away by Villacruz. Here's Sanama. Blocked again.
Good block there by VNS. Ito naman hindi kailangan gawin ng SAVOUGE. Medyo mag-relax. Dahil na kalaban nila, mga bata. For sure, gigil na gigil din manalo itong mga batang to.
Imperial sets it up. Sanama. This one using the block to score.
Sanama, pinabawi dito ng SAVOUGE. Now, they're only down by 1 point.
Now, Sanama is serving. For Sanama, that's his first point of the game. Normal Sanama out of the University of Mindanao in Matina. What a serve. Howard Guerra sets it up. Book pushes and scores again. Van Book now with 2.
And again, a good adjustment there by Book. For sure, aabangan yan dito ng SAVOUGE.
2-point lead. Biggest lead restored for the Griffins. Reverse, and that one is going to be outside for Nicolas.
No check by our referees.
And now this is the biggest lead for the Griffins. They're up by 3. The Red Lion, Book serving Calado. Turned away again. And that'll take us to the first technical timeout. A 4-point lead by the Griffins against the Spin Doctors opening set.
Back inside the Paco Arena for the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025. Yos, Eric, how much preparation is enough preparation? In my conversation with SAVOUGE head coach Ceddy Calderon, we were prepared. Looking back, their 3-set loss against the King Crunchers. Bumalik na naman daw yung sakit nila na masyadong nagmamadali. And now, going against the youthful roster of VNS, there's no taking things for granted. Hindi pa rin daw pwedeng mawala yung respeto sa laban at kalaban. Yos, Eric, exactly, Coach Ceddy's game plan here is to bring back her old starters as they also wish to bring back their morale and confidence this time around. Back to set 1.
Thank you very much for the report, Denise. Nice hit by Kim Lirai, the 18-year-old. That's the second point for Lirai.
Sino ba yung pasok sa middle? Diwa, hindi. Oh. Kapag kaya niya, tapatan mo
Time by Coach Calderon.
Masyado kasi mataas yung settings natin, kaya nadideflect nila yung bola na babalik sa atin. Ayusin natin. Guys, 6 yan. Pero huwag tayong magmamadali. Isa-isahin natin. O, pasensya tayo.
All right, Yos, what do you think Coach Calderon said during that timeout there on the business end of a 7-1 run by the Griffins?
Actually, wala tayong masyadong marinig on their timeout, but for sure napatawag siya ng timeout because the run of VNS, no, yung blockings na pinapakita dito ng VNS, and of course, yung mga atake nila, very effective so far.
What's the change that needs to happen here for the Spin Doctors?
I think wala masyadong nag-uusap on their side.
Okay.
Medyo tahimik, and the energy na pinapakita ng VNS, hindi pa mapantayan dito ng SAVOUGE.
The dig goes over Medino, RK Medino. The kid stands 6'3", so that's an easy push for Medino. I mean, his shoulder was net height.
That's right. Actually, medyo matagal-tagal ko na nakita itong si Medino. No? Mukhang malaki pa yung chance na tumangkad pa siya.
Bad news for a lot of Spikers Turf teams. There's Calado finally getting it off the block.
Finally, off the block hit by Calado. Dahil kanina, ang daming blocks na nakakuha dito ng VNS. Kaya, as a veteran player like Calado, gagawa niya ng paraan.
Already 2 blocks for the Griffins. They're coming off a 9-block performance in their loss versus UST. This one through. Nice hit for Villacruz's Caritativo.
Ooh.
That could have been out actually, but Howard Guerra picking it up.
A good side out once again for SAVOUGE. They're down by 5 points.
A little 2-point run by the Spin Doctors. So they were down by as many as 8 points.
Ooh.
What a kill. Medino down the line for his 3rd point.
I mean, the experience for Medino, no, sa mga past few years na nandito siya sa VNS. Kita mo agad yung improvement itong si Medino. I believe he also played for the Young Alas.
That's true.
Ooh.
In fact, they went to Bahrain. Medino and a few others. Terence Martison, who's also in the lineup of Coach Ralph Ocampo. And Howard Guerra, the Alas under-18 team, participated in Bahrain last year, August. Nicolas with a serve down the line. Liray picks it up. Liray gets it back. Liray will score.
Good adjustment there by Liray. Ito naman si Liray. Ang liit lang, but yung talon niya and yung ball control.
Kim Liray is 5'7", just because you mentioned the height. So he's not really that tall. I think you're even taller, right?
For sure. A bit taller. Para kasi si Josh Ibanez sa height lang, but yung talon, andun eh.
That's true.
And also the power.
Meantime, Torres with a miss hit. So biggest lead restored right now for the Griffins, 14-7, opening set. RK Medino out of Tawi-Tawi, serving.
Ooh.
Nice set by Paglaon to Gilles Torres.
That's what they need, no? SAVOUGE. More set plays, better reception. Kailangan lang paggalawin yung blockers dito ng VNS para hindi basta tapat-tapat lang at kayang-kayang abutin dito ng VNS sa mga atake binibigay ng SAVOUGE.
Well, nice to see Alas Pilipinas backup setter JM Paglaon back in the game. He twisted his ankle last weekend.
Ooh!
Yeah, but Medino with a side out.
Wow, Medino once again. Alam mo, parang naalala ko sa kanya si Sally of UST.
Okay.
He's actually from VNS din.
Albo Carizali.
That's right. Also an opposite spiker na galing din sa VNS. And then we have here ito naman si...
Meantime, Liray with a service fault. Liray is a juniors player from Mapua. And there's Howard Guerra on your screens, also a juniors player from Mapua. Sherwin Caritativo out of University of Perpetual Help. Off speed. Pick up by Sarama. Paglaon sets it up. Calado splits the blockers and scores.
Good spike there by Calado. Finding the gap on the blockers of VNS. Kita natin kasi ang tataas din ng blocks na binibigay itong VNS eh. With their height and their lip. Talagang kailangan gawa ng paraan dito ni Calado ang bawat atake.
Good pass. Howard Guerra sends it up. Combination play, and that is good for Van Book. Second technical timeout. A 6-point lead for the Griffins against the Spin Doctors.
para sa ating dalawa. Giniginaw at hindi makagalaw. Hinihirapan ng puso, pinipilit ay ikaw. Kung di rin lang, kung di rin tayo sa huli.
Griffins team captain Noy Pedrosa on the feature. Medino into the net. So a bit of a run here for the Spin Doctors. 4-1 run. Coach Calderon looking busy, as she should be. I mean, this has been a tough stretch for the Spin Doctors. Chance to put it away here. Book. Paglaon pops it up. Sanama. What a dig by Cruz. And battle at the net. Won by Book.
The maturity of Book being shown here. That was triple block by SAVOUGE, but nagawa niya yun ng paraan.
So that stops the 4-1 run by the Spin Doctors. Still a comfortable 5-point lead for the Griffins. Good pass, Paglaon, the reverse, Sanama. That misses the line.
But a substitution here by SAVOUGE. We have Betko
A lot of errors
replacing Sanama.
for the Spin Doctors. 4 errors off the attacks. All right, so it's Raymark Bitko. It's not Betko, and they want him. It said like Bitko. So the 21-year-old Bitko is
Okay.
on the floor for the first time today. Coming off his lowest performance so far, 9 points scored against the King Crunchers in that 3-set loss. Meantime, Howard Guerra on your screens. 23 excellent sets and 1 point in the loss against UST. So now everything is okay. Coach Calderon sending back Caritativo. The only change is Raymark Bitko on the floor. 18 serving 12. Good pass by Shawi. And Bitko is turned away. But off the block, it's a point for Spin Doctors.
A good substitution here for SAVOUGE. Bitko there on that opposite attack.
Out of the College of St. Benilde, Raymark Bitko with a good serve. Howard Guerra sets it up. They go to the pipe, and Kim Liray knocks it in.
Mag-adjust sa last step mo para mahabol mo yung bola. Either bukaman to or dikit sa net.
Meantime, J.M. Paglaon with the option. Now Mark Calado serving. Good pass by Book. Oh, hanging in midair. Titus Villacruzes knocks it in.
Villacruzes, 3 points, 2 points. I think 1 attack, 1 block.
Back to a 6-point cushion, a very comfortable lead. 17-year-old Villacruzes from Mindoro with a serve. From the back row,
Ooh,
Bitko again.
Bitko there. VNS with 11 attacks. SAVOUGE, 9 attack points in this set.
Daniel Nicolas out of UP. Also the assistant coach now for UPIS.
Ooh,
Gets an ace.
good target there. Targeting Liray. So far, target nila dito yung mga open hitters. Kasi nga medyo para mawala na agad sa atake.
So a 2-point run for the Spin Doctors. Much better pass by Liray. Oh, what a reverse set.
Ooh.
And take a look at Medino. That reach is outstanding. How high did he have to go for this?
And a good adjustment there. Because medyo dikit sa set. Medyo dikit na sa blockers yung set dito ng VNS.
It's a challenge. Reaching beyond the net. Now Coach Calderon. They're in a spot of trouble here. The Spin Doctors, Yos, 4 points away, their opponents, the Griffins, from winning the first set, and they are 5 points down.
So far sa pinapakita dito ng VNS, so medyo may hirapan habulin dito ang SAVOUGE pag hindi pa rin nila nagawa ng paraan yung mga off-the-block hits na binibigay dito ng VNS.
So far, no blocks at all for the Griffins. They have just one ace. Meantime, 2 blocks already for the Griffins. They also have an ace. And the attacking, so much better for the Griffins. I mean, at least 2 players with 4 points for the Griffins. Nobody with more than 2 points for the Spin Doctors.
That's right. No? Everybody for VNS nagko-contribute so far. And better reception actually. Dun ang napapansin ko lang minsan no, pag nawawalan sila ng reception, doon sila nahihirapan talaga umatake.
So this challenge taking a while. They're challenging that joust, that push by RK Medino, who went really high up and hit it off the blocker. The point was awarded to the Griffins.
I think they're also trying to challenge because back row yung setter dito ng VNS.
Just the first game of your triple header this Friday. There are 2 more coming up. So plenty of Spikers Turf action to catch before the end of the week. Coach Calderon coming off a 3-set loss against the league-leading King Crunchers, who have not lost the game so far. They're playing so well, they even beat the defending champions in 4 sets. Meanwhile, their opponents, the VNS Griffins, they are looking for their first win in 4 games. They've lost 3 straight.
So far, no, for SAVOUGE, yun na lang yung hindi lang natalo, criss-cross.
All right, so now Coach Rafa Campo side by side with Coach Sidney Calderon. And
I think they're trying to confirm kasi back row yung setter dito ng VNS. Mukhang hinihingi nila doon na medyo overreaching na yung setter ng VNS kanina dahil parang pa-over na yung ball kaya nag-overball din yung set niya. So ang tinatawagan doon yung back row attack na ng that one. Yes, pero mukhang hindi.
I mean, again, the ball was set so high, it's beyond the scope of the camera already.
Mukhang hindi lang kita dun sa screen, sa ating monitor.
Eusebio, our technical official there. They got to get a wider camera with a wider lens for these athletic Spikers Turf players. Still no final decision. Coach Calderon, Coach Ocampo still there. Finally, I think they've got it settled. And now they're communicating with first referee Jocelyn Del Rosario. The point will stay with the Griffins.
I believe because yung angle ng ating referee, mas kita niya kung saang side na ng court yung bola.
So it was an unsuccessful challenge in the end. 21 serving 16, Medino. Good pass by Calado. Paglaon sets it. Caritativo is turned away. Shaul Caritativo, only 1 point today in the first set.
Still, the blockings of VNS has been very effective in this set.
This one through the block. Good save by Joshua Cruz. Chance ball for the Spin Doctors. And that one outside for Bitco.
Ayun, ang daming errors na binibigay dito ng SAVOUGE. 3 points for VNS.
And now, Coach Calderon will use her final timeout.
Pinaka-target. Huwag doon kasi ang dami mong error doon. Palaging lumalabas yung palo. 23-16, wala pang imposible dyan. Try lang natin dikitan. Guys, asan yung training natin kahapon? Pag tight set, gamitin yung kamay. Ha? Wala tayong application eh. Huwag kayong magpipigil. Hey, one team!
The lead is up to 7 again, the biggest lead for the Griffins. Very consistent volleyball so far played by Howard Guerra, RK Medino on your screens. Kim Liray, even Titus Villacruzes, everybody contributing. Combination play, Caritativo finally gets one against Diwa.
A better side out here for SAVOUGE, hitting it off the block by Caritativo.
Just the second point for Shawi. And Caritativo, one of the reliables, twice already this Invitational Conference. He scored in double digits. Meantime, team captain Noy Pedrosa checking in number 16 for the Griffins. There he is. Paclaon's got a full front line. Bad pass. Gonna be an off-system play. In fact, an easy over by Liray. Paclaon sets it. And that one through for Pitco. It's a 5-point game. Much better pass by Liray. Kim Liray blocked. Good save by Cruz. Liray again. That one outside.
Too much angle there by Liray. Medyo nagigigil dito ang mga bata ng VNS.
So it's a 3-point run, Yos, by the Spin Doctors. From down 7, they are within 4. This one a reverse set. Pedrosa got it.
A good side out here by VNS. Pedrosa there from the back row.
Off the bench for the 25-year-old Noy Pedrosa. And now Kim Liray will sit down. In comes Arcilio. Julius Jao Arcilio. He's a 17-year-old. This is his first game. He didn't play the first 3 games for the Griffins.
Ooh. Lucky break here for SAVOUGE. That service error of VNS.
So the service specialist Arcilio, after doing his job, goes back out. Liray is back in. It is 4 set points still for the Griffins. All right, chance to put it away here. And there it is. Book puts it away.
Book with no blockers there. Medyo naiiwan yung middle blocker dito ng SAVOUGE, kaya nagkaroon ng mas malaking gap at mas malaking opportunity for Book para makakuha ng puntos na yon.
Van Book with 6 points. Top scoring for the Griffins. And here's the finishing touch for this very young Griffins team as they get the first set against this veteran-laden Spin Doctors. First meeting between these 2 teams here in the Invitational Conference. 25-20. 5-point win for the Griffins, but that doesn't really tell the whole story of the first set. Griffins led by as many as 7 points.
The blockings na pinakita dito ng VNS, so, nung nagsisimula pa lang yung games, very intense na yung mga galaw nila. Even the blocks, the reception was better. Yung mga palong binibigay nila, very steady. But for SAVOUGE naman, no, medyo nahihirapan silang makalusot sa mga blocks na binibigay dito ng VNS. Medyo na-late lang ng konti yung mga mas magagandang side-out na binigay nila. Mas nakalayo na dito ang VNS.
We're inside the Paco Arena as we showing you the statistics, the pertinent statistics, explaining that 5-point win by this very young Griffins team wearing the light blue against the white shirts of the Spin Doctors.
We have 14 attacks here for VNS compared to 11. Ito yung 3 blocks. Kahit 3 blocks lang yan sa screen natin, no? Medyo dun nagkakaroon ng buhay ang VNS dahil medyo natatahimik yung mga atake dito ng SAVOUGE. Kaya nagkakaroon din sila mas errors. Although mas maraming errors dito ang VNS, mas marami silang nakuhang atake on their side dahil mas nagkaroon silang better reception.
Alright, so for the Spin Doctors must-win situation, Diwa, so far scoreless. Caritativo has 2 points. Here we go, set number 2. Howard Guerra, Diwa, and right on cue, getting his first point.
That's right on cue. Napansin mo daw na wala pang score. Sa first set, itong si Diwa, very quiet. But of course, yung presence niya sa blockings, kahit hindi man siya nakakuha ng puntos, nandun pa rin.
Diwa, former Spin Doctor, actually. Wait a minute. Wrong server?
Medyo na-late yata ng pasok si Villa Crucis.
Okay.
Hindi niya nakitang siya na yung papalit doon sa front line.
Alright. So we're tied. 1-all. Oh, service ace for Caritativo.
May naman yung tendency dito ng VNS, no? Yung mga outside hitters yung pina-target dito ng SAVOUGE. So mas kailangan nilang tibayan dahil sila yung hinahanap talaga so far dito ng SAVOUGE.
Ooh, first lead right now for the Spin Doctors. They're up 3-1.
Overset there by VNS.
Much better pass. Guerra on 2. Got it.
A good side out here by VNS. Medyo nahihirapan kasi makakuha ng first ball itong VNS kaya hindi makakuha ng magandang set plays.
Howard Guerra stands 5'10" and he jumps extremely high. Good traits for a setter.
That's right. Also a left-handed setter. Good advantage for a setter.
Meantime, a block against Book. So the defense tightening up. Yos for the Spin Doctors.
That's right. No? Earlier sa first set, medyo nahihirapan kumuha ng mga blockings itong SAVOUGE sa mga ataking binibigay ng VNS.
Book. The dig coming from Caritativo. Calado against the double block. And there's a block touch called by our first referee, Jocelyn De Rosario. A quick challenge because the players, the Griffins saying none, they didn't touch it. So Coach Rafa Campo will use one of his 2 challenges. Did you see anything?
Parang medyo wala eh. Pero ang taas kasi ng blockings dito ng VNS. Kaya ang taas din ng palo dito ni Calado. But sabi nila wala. So far, pag ganun, it's either hindi mo naramdaman or wala talaga.
So far, great job by Joshua Cruz, the 25-year-old libero, wearing the number 2 jersey for the Griffins. Coming off a 12-dig performance. Now, Jocelyn De Rosario speaking to Kim Liray, who will communicate something to Ralph Campo. And And Liray is back with our first referee. All right, seems like it's an unsuccessful challenge. The point stays with the Spin Doctors, 5 serving 2, second set. Gilles Torres sends it outside.
Lucky break here for the young team VNS. That service error of SAVOUGE.
22-year-old Van Book. Barbeto with a great pass. And there's Bitco again.
Good set there. The opposite side. Medyo nandun kasi yung maliit na blockers dito ng VNS, which is Liray.
Raymark Bitco with the serve. The up by Book. Liray will get the side out.
Good side out there by Liray. Bumawi agad sa kanya pinadaan kanina. Yung maganda dito sa young team ng VNS, nakakabawi din agad.
Huge gap in the middle of the blockers. 5 points now for Kim Liray. Titus Villacruzes. Battle at the net. Paglaon pushes it over. Medino got it again.
Wow, for VNS, daming pwedeng puntahan dito ng setter ng VNS. We have Liray. On the other side, we have Medino.
Medino now with 6. And Howard Guerra, Yos, has been doing a great job really finding his attackers. Good pass by Caritativo, running attack. Nicolas, nowhere to go. And we've got a tied game.
Look at that block by Liray. I think that was Liray. Alam niya kasing maliit siya eh. Siya yung papadaanan. 3-point run by VNS. Pagka maliit ka kasing blocker, no, sometimes it's all about the timing. The timing and yung pagkaka-position mo sa block. Yung pagkakabasa mo kung saan pupunta yung blocker mo, which is on that sequence, running attack. Perfect yung pagkaka-position niya. Dahil alam niya, short running attack, natalon niya agad. So, good block there by Liray.
Paglaon to Calado. Off-speed hit. That's the only way right now that the Spin Doctors can get through the blockers as you take a look at the attack points.
For VNS, 1 for SAVOUGE. Better adjustment there by Calado, finding that donut hole of VNS.
Good pass by Book. Medino. Again. Arke Medino.
So far, Medino with 7 points already on this game.
That's going to be a tough block for the Spin Doctors. I mean, he's too tall, he's too athletic, he's very young. Barbeto with a pass. Here comes Caritativo. Finds the gap as well between the block and scores. And that'll take us to our first technical timeout. It is the Spin Doctors up by 1. 8-7 off this 4th point by Caritativo against the Griffins. Second set.
You're still watching the Spikers Surf Invitational Conference 2025, set 2 of this matchup between You're still watching the Spikers Surf Invitational Conference 2025, set 2 of this matchup between the VNS Griffins and the SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors. Jos Eric showing his skills inside the Tataflex is the 15-year-old Howard Guerra, the youngest of the Griffins, with a boosted morale after just clinching the championship for Caloocan in the beach volleyball of Batang Pinoy Jensen last week. That was his first time playing beach volleyball, kaya challenge daw talaga yung pagbalik indoors. Matter of fact, kababalik niya lang raw nung laro nila with UST and seeing action this time against SAVOUGE, he's banking on the knowledge and trust his teammates have for him. Jos Eric?
Thanks again, Denise. Howard Guerra going to the pipe, and Book will knock it in. That's his 7th point. 8-all. Liray into the net.
Service there for Liray.
3 service faults now for Liray. He has the most out of all the Griffins. Medino. This one into the net. So back-to-back easy points given up here by the Griffins, Yos.
That's right. So far, ito yung kailangan ng SAVOUGE. Faster plays, harder serves. Kasi pag nahihirapan makareceive talaga ang VNS, hindi siya makakuha ng set plays.
Biggest lead restored for the Griffins. Check that for the Spin Doctors. Off the block. Wait a minute. That's not going to be a point for Calado. There's a block touch called by Jocelyn Del Rosario.
I think dun sa coverage.
And Bitco will now speak to first referee Del Rosario.
I believe we can challenge that. Nasa baba, check ball na tinawag dito ng referee.
All right, so 9 serving 10, chance to tie on the serve by Diwa. Calado with a pass. Here comes Caritativo. Turned away by Villacruzes. And it's a tie game.
And again, the blocking so far of VNS has been very effective. Kailangan dito ng SAVOUGE yung mga faster plays. Napansin ko kanina, no? Pagka nag-fast plays sila, doon medyo nakakahirapan humabol sa blockings ang VNS.
But the service faults, Yos, there are just a lot more points given up here by the Griffins. Set number 2. Not to say that SAVOUGE is not playing well. The Spin Doctors also, they've leveled up their volleyball.
Yung momentum sana ng VNS
There's another ace.
And another ace for SAVOUGE.
That's the second one for Caritativo here in set number 2.
Still targeting the outside hitters. That time, Liray naman yung target niya. No? Between Liray and Boo.
Caritativo now with 5 points after not scoring in the first set. Torres trying to keep it alive. There's a net touch. They'll call against Calado. Let's check here. Maybe on Gilles. Oh yeah, Gilles Torres on the way down. Paglaon, the reverse. And this time, Bitco is turned away.
Still, the blockings of VNS. Kailangan tibay on this game.
Now serving for the lead for the first time here in set number 2. Howard Guerra. Marmeto has been passing very well. Gilles Torres. Yes.
Better attack for SAVOUGE. 2 block points for SAVOUGE and 3 block points for VNS. So far, no, yung mga gitna hindi pa ma-maximize dito ng SAVOUGE. Which is dun sila nakakalusot din. Dahil naiiwan mag-isa ang blocker dito ng VNS.
Spin Doctors. Give up a point. Tied at 13 all. They haven't really controlled this set. They led by as many as 2 points. But the Griffins, they've always been very aggressive. Great blocking as well here in set number 2. Bitco blocked again. Marmeto with coverage. Reverse. And Calado gets it through Villacruzes.
Good adjustment there by Calado. So far, yung mga bukang sets doon sila nakakuha ng puntos. Dahil pagka dumidikit yung mga atake nila, talaga nakakuha dito ng VNS. But there's a little gap in the hands of Villacruzes.
4 points for Calado as Vincent Perial checking in for the first time today along with Senyoron. Senyoron also, I believe, playing for the first time in the Invitational Conference.
Ooh.
But an easy point given up there by Vince Imperial, who just checked in. Check that Imperial played in the first set. 14 all. Villacruz is serving to Caritativo. Calado bouncing it off the block. Good save. Easy over for the Griffins. Here come the Spin Doctors. Reyes pushes it. Medino. Marmeto with a dig. Calado again. Yes!
Finally, a point there for SAVOUGE. A good coverage yung pinapakita din dito ng VNS. No? Kaya nakakailang atake muna bago makapuntos dito ang SAVOUGE.
5 points now for Mark Calado. Coming off an 8-point performance. His first single-digit performance in the Invitational Conference. Ooh, thunderous hit from the pipe. And that was outside, but there's a net touch again against the Spin Doctors, called by our second referee, Daniel Palada.
Net touch.
And no complaints here for no challenge as well. There it is for Coach Calderon. The touch by Reyes. Combination play down the line. Nice dig, but it goes over for Joshua Cruz. Diray on the attack, pushes it. Imperial with the first touch. Calado from the pipe on the second touch.
No blockers there for Calado.
And that'll take us to our second technical timeout. A 1-point lead. Spin Doctors against the Griffins. Set number 2.
Top 5 players ko, una si Gills, kasi siya yung napagsasabihan ko ng problema pagka nasa team kami. Pangalawa si Shawi, madali kaming magkaintindihan. Pangatlo is si Kuya JP Bugawan, dati kong teammate sa Signal. Kuya Jude Garcia, ang pangapat ko. Idol ko kasi maglaro, last ko is si Martin Bugawan. Alos lahat mo nang binanggit ko na 5 players is mga Ilocano, so sila yung parang inspiration ko para maglaro.
Well, the Bugawan brothers in the top 5 of Calado. Not a surprise, they're all from FEU. In the meantime, I believe Renzel Antonio will check in for the first time in the conference. Well, it won't happen yet. A referee say not just yet. So it is Angelo Reyes still on the floor. There he is. Out of UE, played for the Meat Masters here in the Spikers turf before getting picked up by the Spin Doctors. 1-point lead for Calado and the Spin Doctors after losing by 5 points in the first set against RK Medino and the Griffins. Reyes, only 23 years old. Good up from Liray. Liray. Rectativo, here's Calado from the back row. Got it again.
Wow, Calado there. The back row hit.
Calado with 7 points, 5 scored here in the second set. So a lot more aggressive, Caritativo and Calado here in set 2. There, nice block. But good coverage by the Griffins, keeping this rally alive. Imperial out to Caritativo. Turned away. It goes outside. Caritativo will score again. That is Caritativo's 7th point. Ralph Ocampo calling a timeout after this 3-point run by the Spin Doctors. Let's listen in.
Pag rumireceive kayo, ina-atras nyo. Pag dumidepensa kayo, ma-atras kayo. Kaya walang control. Kailangan lang natin tapatan, tapos banggain nyo lang. Napakasimple lang eh. Lahat ng problema, spin ball, hindi nyo madepensahan. Diba? Walang tayo isa, first attacker. first attack lang tayo. Kailangan natin maka-side out lang. Tapos magandang serve.
So what do you think, Yos, needs to happen for the Griffins? They're down by 3 points.
They need better reception kasi so far target yung mga outside hitters. So tendency hindi sila makakuha ng better plays. So tendency din counter attack naman ng SAVOUGE. Kaya mas nakakuha sila ng yung blocking sila no medyo hindi makuha yung blocks.
It is the biggest lead for the Spin Doctors in the game. Medino. Oh, what a block by Gilles Torres.
That block by Gilles Torres. Sila naman ang nakakuha ng mas madaming blocks on this set. Bantay na bantay doon si Medino.
Now a 4-point cushion. Great timing here. Cartativo jumping up with Torres. Medino trying to go cross court. That was shut down. Gilles Torres now with 4 points. Reyes continuing to serve. Underhand pass. Caritativo targeting the fingertips. And we'll get a block touch.
So far, yung adjustment nila sa atake. Mas madami ng variation. Yun ang mahirap bantayan eh. Yung pa-check talaga. Kasi hanapin niya doon yung daliri.
8 points for Caritativo. The biggest lead now at 5 for the Spin Doctors. Liray, this one too close to the net. There's a net touch against Liray.
Medyo nahihirapan na kumuha ng tuloy-tuloy na puntos dito ang VNS. Now we have Bautista replacing Liray.
All right, so it's a 6-0 run by the Spin Doctors. Bam Bam Bautista out of Letran checking in. Replacing Kim Liray. Try and turn this thing around. First referee, Jocelyn De Rosario. All right, so Bautista getting a touch. The reverse set, and Pedrosa gets the side out, finally stopping that 6-point run by the Spin Doctors.
Finally a good side out there by VNS. Medyo nahihirapan sila makalusot eh. So either nakuha ng block touch na counter-attack ng SAVOUGE. But this time, off the block hit by Pedrosa.
24-year-old Bam Bam Bautista. Reverse, down the line. Senyoron misses.
Too much angle there by Senyoron. Masyadong iniwas sa blockers dito ng VNS.
June Senyoron out of UST. Bam Bam Bautista also played for the Navigators here in the Spikers turf. Combination play. Caritativo with one blocker.
Yung sinasabi ko kanina, pag faster plays, pag faster sets dito ang SAVOUGE, nakakuha sila ng mga mas malinis na palo.
9 points already for Shawi Caritativo. Timeout here, the last one for Rafa Campo.
Kagat kayo ng kagat single block ngayon palagi. Ang tingin sa kalaban nyo, high school, mahirap putuhin yan. Malakas pumalo yan. Stick kayo dun sa base, tapos magbasa kayo. Go!
Now, just Caritativo, we go there first. 7 of Caritativo's 9 points coming in the second set. What do the Griffins have to do, Yos, with only their opponents 3 points away from tying this game?
Medyo nabuhayan dito yung SAVOUGE. Medyo hindi nakasabay on that middle part of the set. Kasi before that, middle scores natin, no, medyo mas nakakasabay pa sila. But this time, nahihirapan sila makakuha ng mga magagandang atake. Pero better side out there by VNS.
Book with 9 points now.
Hindi sila masyado makakuha ng mga set plays like quicks dahil nga medyo bitin yung mga receptions dito ng VNS.
Gotta get a run. if you're the Griffins. Torres, that one popped up very nicely. Villacruz, he sets it up. Book, cross court. Barbeto digs it. Caritativo, Robitco. Dais will set it up. Back to Book. Book with back-to-back points. A mini 2-point run for the Griffins.
Book there with an off-the-block hit. Yun yung mga kailangan nilang gawin eh. Mas madaming variations ng atake dahil nababantayan na sila dito ng SAVOUGE.
Meantime, a timeout now for the Spin Doctors.
Okay, after this, receive tayo na maayos. Pag A-pass, bigyan mo yung middle. Pag B-pass, saan yung porsyento natin ngayon? Ay, madami po. Pwede dito, pwede din doon. Lahat mataas yung porsyento natin. Kailangan lang natin ng conversion. Spiker, again, pag tight set, discard is a set. Ha? Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, one team!
After leading by as many as 6 points, Torres and the Spin Doctors now only protecting a 3-point cushion. 2 straight points scored by Book. Torres again. This one hits the face of Dais, Klaus Dais. Caritativo finally gets the side out.
Again, that gap sa side dito ni Caritativo, no? Ang bilis kasi nung set na yon. So far, pagka fast-paced talaga, binibigay dito ng SAVOUGE, nahihirapan na humabol yung middle blocker dito ng VNS.
First player in double digits for the Spin Doctors. Dais, the reverse set. Pedrosa. Calado trying to save it. Successful. Dais to Book. It's on the line.
Powerful cross-court hit.
11 points.
Book. 11 points for Book.
In the meantime, Caritativo with 10 for the Spin Doctors. So there's a challenge here by the Spin Doctors, a ball in, ball out challenge.
Of course, ayaw nilang sayangin. Every point kasi malapit na tayo mag-25 and alam natin, ang VNS aggressive in this game. Hindi yung posibleng makahabol din sila. So, SAVOUGE, they need to close this set as early as possible. Sobrang in.
So in. That is mostly for timeout purposes, I guess. That is not even on the line. Coach Calderon and the Spin Doctors coming off their first 3-set loss of the conference. That snapped a 2-game winning streak, by the way. 3-point game. Guerra back on the floor. He's got a full front line. Very tall front line. Oh, but Torres, not intimidated, bounces it off the block of Villacruz, and now it's 4 set points for the Spin Doctors.
That's right. Hitting it off the block. Kasi alam natin, nakabantay na yung dalawang blockers dito ng VNS. Nakakuha siya ng call. Nakita ni Torres yung kamay doon ni Villacruz.
In the meantime, now for the first time ever in the tournament, Renzel Antonio checking in. Formerly from San Sebastian. He didn't play against the Insurance Protectors, against FEU, and against USD. Book. Aglaon with the first touch, so Caritativo passes to Calado. Hits it off the block and gets the dub for the Spin Doctors.
Finally, Calado. Once again, putting it off the block. Medyo malayo yung gitnang coverage dito ng VNS. Hindi na nakahabol doon si Bautista. Take a look. Once again on that hit by Calado. Hitting it off the block. Kasi nga nahihirapan sila makalusot. Dahil sa laki at better blockings dito ng VNS.
8 points for Calado. And identical scorelines just with it got turned around by SAVOUGE as they win the second set. Going to the third.
kayo na pogi. Basta sa akin yung dating. Ano yung mga pogi? Kahit pa nakachideng. O sige kayo na pogi. Basta sa akin yung dating.
May naaalala naman ako dito sa kanta nito. Nakilala kita sa di ko inaasahang pagkakataon. Hanap-hanap kay James Reid siya ka Nadine Lustre ata to. Ngunit pilitin mo bumabalik sa'yo. Ikaw pa rin palang hanap-hanap ka lang.
Back inside the Paco Arena in Manila, where we've got an exciting one, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams losing by 5 first and second sets. Let's see some of the highlights.
Mas nabuhayan dito ang SAVOUGE, no? Lalo na sila karitatibo, also kalado, hitting it off the block. Ang dami ng variation din ng atake nila. Even Nils Torres, nakakuha na rin ng puntos. And mas nakakalusot nila sa blockings dito ng VNS. That's because of the better reception and faster plays na binibigay dito ng SAVOUGE.
Caritativo coming alive, Calado as well, stepping up big time.
And let's take a look at the second set stats. 14 attack points ang binigay dito ng Spin Doctors compared to 10. And 3 blocks each. And mas na-minimize nila yung mga errors nila, no? And also, yung mga services din dito ng Spin Doctors, much better compared to the first set. Kaya mas madami siyang mas nakuha puntos dito on that second set.
So both teams will have to slug it out to regain the upper hand here in set number 3. As again, we are tied at 1 set apiece. VNS looking for their first win in 4 games, while the Spin Doctors looking to get back on the winning track after losing their last game against the King Crunchers.
Of course, gusto makakuha ng mas madaming panalo as much as possible ng both teams. As we all know, only the top 4 teams will move on to the semifinals, and then there will be joined by 2 guest teams.
Some early members of the audience today. Just the first game of our triple header. We've got UST coming up later. They're taking on Alpha Insurance, and then FEU taking on Signal Super Spikers. So it's a fun matchup. All right, starting lineup a little different now for Coach Ocampo as Ben Bautista in the starting lineup, and Mike Ferrer, number 8. Meanwhile, for the Spin Doctors, it's the same starting lineup from set number 2. First serve is outside, so that first point going to the Spin Doctors.
Of course, kailangan mo dito mas magandang start, no, for both teams, but that one error serve by Bautista.
Caritativo. Ooh. Targeting Ben Bautista right away. And another ace for Caritativo. That is ace number 3.
Like miscommunication dahil inagaw dito yung si Ferrer yung reception na papunta na sana kay Bautista.
First point for the Griffins.
And a free point there for VNS.
So Mike Ferrer out of the University of Cordilleras in Baguio. Didn't play in their last game against UST. And the attack for Gilles Torres.
A better adjustment yung binigay dito ng SAVOUGE na so far sa second set pa lang. Mas madami na nakuha ang atake yung middle attackers nila.
Torres now with 6. Bautista, short pass. Guerra to Book. It's outside.
Outside, but I think they're gonna challenge it. Umami na ang
So it's Bitko with the block touch. Howard Guerra serving to tie it. 2-3. Paglaon to Calado. Got it.
Still off the block hit by Calado. So far, no, talagang mas nakakakuha na ng madaming puntos si Calado with those off the block hits. Medyo mas kailangan na ulit patibayin dito ng VNS. Blocking sila.
9 points now for Mark Calado. Service fault number 2 in this set for the Spin Doctors. So 2 of the 3 points of the Griffins are from errors by the Spin Doctors. Van Book with the serve. Overpass.
Oh,
There's a net touch as well. Yeah, there's a net touch against the Griffins. Ooh.
I think they're not gonna allow the
Yeah,
challenge.
Yeah, because they're calling for a reaching beyond the net challenge, but it's a net touch. That is the violation. All right, so 5 serving 3. Calado. Good pass by Van Book. And RK Medino will knock it in. Medino now with 8.
Better adjustment there by Medino. So far kanina, medyo tahimik si Medino. But this time, kailangan niya mas mag-contribute on this set.
Only 2 points in the second set for RK Medino. So a very quiet second set. Bitko coming up short.
Medyo nabitin doon si Bitko in that set. But I think they're gonna challenge a net fault.
If this is unsuccessful, the game's going to be tied. The point already awarded to the Griffins, who are playing from behind here in set number 3. In case you're just joining us on One Sports Plus, or Pilipinas Live, we've got a tied game, 1 set apiece. The Spin Doctors winning set number 2 after losing the first set. Both teams with 5-point wins. So, needless to say, this third set going to be very important. Both teams are coming off losses, by the way. So, Coach Calderon and company, their first 3-set loss of the Invitational Conference. That was against the King Crunchers. Here's the look at the net touch.
I think yung bola ay tumama sa net.
All right, so an unsuccessful challenge here. Only 1 challenge remaining for the Spin Doctors. Now serving. No, check that. The lead, serving for the lead. All right, the venue scoreboard just went on a fritz a little bit. Paglaon taking the option and giving the lead right back to the Spin Doctors.
For sure, di lang kailangan bigyan ng mahabang momentum dito ang VNS, no? Kaya naman sa second touch pa lang, kinuha dito ng setter ng SAVOUGE.
J.M. Paglaon on top setter as well.
2 points for
5-8.
Paglaon.
Medino goes down the line. That one picked up by Reyes. Bitko pushes it and finds the campfire.
That's Bitko on his 5th point. So far, kahit medyo late na siya pumasok, no? That second set. Good adjustment there.
2-point run for Bitko and the Spin Doctors. Bautista, first attack. Got it.
Finding the gap with the third for Bautista.
Wasn't a good pass. In fact, it was an off-system play, but a little pirouette at the end of the hit. It's a one-point game. Paglaon passes caritativo down the line and giving Howard Guerra a bit of a look.
A little bit of a stare down there.
First technical timeout. Spin Doctors up by 2 against the Griffins, set number 3. Spin Doctors up by 2, 8-6. Third set action. A little 1-2 as well for Howard Guerra.
Guerra with his third point in this game. So far, kailangan din nila ng mga ganyang klaseng set plays. Galawin yung mga depensa dito ng SAVOUGE.
Bautista with the serve. Paglaon finds caritativo, this time going cross-court, hitting against the smaller Howard Guerra.
Naiiwan kasi mag-isa doon si Guerra on that sequence. Medyo na-late na. Dahil nakabantay sa middle attacker, itong middle blocker nitong VNS.
Caritativo with 13 points. Bautista, much better pass. Medino down the line. Wow, and that was a back row hit. Looked like a front row attack.
Arky Medino is 9-point. That's right, coming from the back row. And for sure, no, talagang nag-evolve din yung relationship na pinapakita ng setter at ng spiker nitong VNS.
Bad pass there from Marmeto. And that one off the head of Calado. Monster block going to the VNS Griffins.
Finding a better blocking dahil kanina nahuhuli yung middle blocker dito ng VNS. But that time, perfect positioning by the blockers of VNS.
9-all, serving for the lead, Mike Ferrer. And this time a middle attack. What a dig for Bam Bautista. And that one, they're going to call a foot fault on Medino.
Almost a good point na sana for VNS, but tumapak doon si Medino.
So back on top, the Spin Doctors up by 1, 10 serving 9. Torres with an ace.
Still, no, tina-target talaga dito ng SAVOUGE yung mga outside hitters. Dahil medyo kakaroon ng struggle sa reception ng mga outside hitters dito ng VNS. This time, it was Bautista.
First ace for Torres. Torres with 7. Better pass from Bam. Combination play. Book. Caritativo trying to keep it alive. Unsuccessful.
Better pass, better attack for VNS.
They don't do a lot of combination plays.
That's because medyo hirap sila sa reception eh. And of course, nagdudulo-dulo din yung mga set plays nila.
Reyes, that shot partially blocked. Book against a single block. Back-to-back points for Book, and the game is tied again.
And why not? Book is on fire. So far, mas nakakarukuha na siya ng maraming puntos. And meron pang Medino sa likod. Ito naman, Book.
14 points for Book. Good pass by Caritativo. Here comes Bitco, dug by Bautista for the lead.
Well, that's it.
There it is! Griffins up by 1.
Oh, look at that set by Quero. Grabe adjustment niya doon. No? Medyo padikit na sa net yung set. But wala, back set. And yun nga yung sinasabi ko, yung connection nila dito ni Medino.
3-point run for the Griffins. And the side out by Angelo Reyes.
And a good response there by SAVOUGE. This time it was Reyes on that middle attack.
Substitution here, a double sub for the Spin Doctors. Imperial Señoron check-in at 12 all. Set 3. Vince Imperial coming off a 1-point performance. Book. Got it. Wow. When you're sitting from where we're sitting, I mean, it's just marvelous to see the athleticism. I mean, he jumped up so high, especially after the combination.
That's from the reception. Sa din yung nag-receive and above the blocker.
Magmeto with the pass. Calado, drop shot.
Oh. Good adjustment there by Calado. Kanya, nakasarado yung blockings dito ng VNS. But medyo na-late naman dito yung libero ng VNS.
13 all. Calado. Bautista, great passing. There, Villacruzes will get the point. There's a block touch against Reyes.
Lucky point there for VNS. Medyo mababa yung set dito kaya Villacruzes. Kaya pinalo niya na tumama sa blockers dito naman ang SAVOUGE.
1-point lead for Howard Guerra and the Griffins. Villacruzes serving into the net. That lead is gone.
The release was too low for Villacruzes.
Now Reyes looking to add to his 1 point today so far. Dump attempt. Ferrer rejected by Torres.
Nakaabang na doon si Torres. Basang-basa niya kung ano yung gagawin dito ni Ferrer.
Second block here for Gilles Torres. Torres now with 8 points. Spin Doctors a point away from the second technical timeout. Medino, drop shot. Señoron picks it up. Imperial to Torres. One-handed dig for Joshua Cruz. Bem Bautista. Dug by Imperial. Señoron through the block. Picked up by Guerra. Now Book passes. Chance ball here for the white shirts. Imperial. Torres with a dump. And that dig no good. 2-point lead for the Spin Doctors. 16-14 against the Griffins. Set number 3.
You're still watching the Spikers Serve Invitational Conference 2025 all the way here from Paco Arena in Manila. Yos, Eric, back inside the Taraflex is John Michael Paglaon from the Spin Doctors who missed their last match after suffering from an ankle sprain in their last match against UST. Na nabitin nga daw dahil kaya naman. But now what he can offer today is his A game. And it was a tough recovery for the setter because being on the sidelines is not enough. He wants to get a bounce back for his team. But as much as gigil ka, sabi naman sa akin ni Gilles Torres, alam nilang control sa bola yung kailangan nila. One thing he learned from their loss against the King Punchers, most especially against this young athletic squad of the VNS Griffins. Back to set 3.
All right, thank you, Denise. There's a block by Torres again. That's a third block for Gilles Torres. And a 3-point lead for the Spin Doctors. Bad ball, tips it straight to the net.
That was too low for Bok. So far, no, very effective ang blockings dito din ng SAVOUGE. Kaya naman napa-time out na ulit dito ang VNS.
Relax, kailangan madaling paluin. Yun parating iisipin, setter. Minadali nyo, o tingnan mo lumayo, minadali nyo lahat. Minadali yung quick, minadali yung pipe, minadali yung open. Ibigay nyo ng maayos. Kasi nire-receive ng maganda eh. Okay? O first attack muna ulit tayo, tapos ano, yan ang pinaka-chance natin. Yan lang yun.
5-point run for the Spin Doctors against Coach Rafa Campo and the Griffins. 2 players now in double digits for the white shirts of SAVOUGE. That is 13 for Caritativo, and actually 3 players in double digits. Torres and Calado with 10 each. 4-point lead for Reyes and the Spin Doctors, their biggest lead of the third set. Medino. Yes, there's a side out.
Finally, a good side out there by VNS. VNS with 5 unforced errors and SAVOUGE 3.
Noy Pedrosa checking back in, replacing Arke Medino. As Coach Ocampo looking for a combination that can be consistent here in the third set. They're still within striking distance, only down by 3 points. But gotta cut down on the errors. We just saw the error count. Caritativo! Yes!
So far, naiiwan mag-isa yung blocker dito ng VNS for Caritativo. Kaya ang laki ng mga gap, ang laki ng options dito niya Caritativo sa atake niya.
Back to a 4-point game. Señoron with the serve. And it's outside.
Lucky break din for VNS. Señoron with that outside serve.
Bembe Bautista, former second-best outside spiker. Back at the 2023 Open Conference at the Spikers turf. Imperial to Torres.
So that set by Imperial to Torres.
Torres, a former Signal Super Spiker. 11 points. Kim Leray checks back in after not seeing a lot of action in the second set. He was instrumental in the first set win by the Griffins.
He produced 6 points on that first set.
Bad
Second
pass
set.
by Leray. Noy Pedrosa cross court. And this will not come back. Caritativo animated as always. John Diwa serving. It's a 3-point game again. This is the hump that the Griffins can't get over. Down the line serve. It is actually outside. Well, that's one of the reasons why a lot of errors. We saw that earlier, Yos.
Of course, medyo patapos na ulit itong set na to, no? At naghahabol din ang VNS. So, mga ganung klaseng errors, hindi din nila kailangan yun.
Torres, good serve. The up by Joshua Cruz. Book. And this will be saved. Excellent work. Hustle by Caritativo to keep this one alive. Combination play. Book again. Caritativo with another dig. Torres sets it up. This one a little too close to the net. Left-handed push by Calado.
Ooh.
And that's on the line. Great work by the Griffins. Villa Crucis with a point.
Quick thinking there by Villa Crucis. Kasi second ball pa lang yun, pwede niya pa sana iset sa mga attackers nila. But nakita niya, walang tao doon sa likod itong SAVOUGE.
Great shot. Back to a 3-point game. Howard Guerra with a good serve. Calado passes. Calado gets it back.
Ooh.
And scores again. Lead is back to 4 after this Calado hit. Going cross court right to the libero Joshua Cruz. Calado now with 11. Medino back in the game, replacing Pedrosa. The serve by Imperial. He's got a full front line for the Spin Doctors. Medino got it. There's a block touch.
Check ball on the side of SAVOUGE.
Reverse set. And yeah, could be Calado with a block touch. Bembem Bautista returning, replacing Kim Liray. Still a 3-point game. Can the Griffins get over this hump? Imperial to Calado. And this will not come back. Straight to the 4th row.
Almost a good save there by Cruz. Too much power coming from that attack of Calado.
Calado now with 12 points. Timeout for Coach Ralph Ocampo. Down by 4 again, late in set number 3.
Ano lang tayo? 3-2-1.
Kaya pa yan, di ba?
Go!
Kaya pa yan.
Kaya boys, let's go! Kaya nyo!
All right, last push here for the young Griffins, taking on the veteran team of Shawi Caritativo and the Spin Doctors, who are up by 4 points. This is their biggest lead of set 3. Both teams are tied at 1 set each. Calado right now, the second leading scorer. 12 points, underhand pass, battle at the net. Won by Caritativo, now picking up the 15th point for Shawi.
15 big points for Caritativo, 11 from attacks.
All right, take a look here, and you'll be the quick judge if there was a reaching beyond the net, because there is a challenge by the Griffins. Right now, for Coach Ocampo and the Griffins, they need, well, every help, any kind of help they can get. Because if this challenge is unsuccessful, it's going to be 5 set points for the Spin Doctors. So they need this one to be successful. Ooh, unfortunately, it will not be. So no reaching beyond the net for Caritativo, who only scored 2 points in the first set, but then has exploded, has 15 total. So 5 set points now for Calado and the Spin Doctors. 24 serving 19. Bautista with a perfect pass. Bautista gets it back and gets it off the block, saving 1 set point.
Good response there by Bautista. That service attack response. So kanya binigay ulit pagka-receive niya.
2 points for Bembem. Now the defense of the Griffins, they've got to step up. Got to get a stop right here. Nice block by Bautista. And then another stop. There it is! Back-to-back blocks by the Griffins. 2 set points saved.
Pag nandun talaga si Medino sa part ng blocking siya ng VNS, nakapunta siya ng madaming blocks.
And now Coach Calderon will call a timeout. We'll listen in.
Ano, basta pag ganun yung mga settings, gamitin mo na lang yung kamay. Ganun na lang ano yung natin lagi.
Cover tayo, cover.
Hey, 1-2!
Spikers tayo.
Well, still 1 timeout remaining for the Spin Doctors. No more timeouts left for the Griffins. That is the storyline here as Paglaon and Bitco return for the Spin Doctors. They've lost 2 straight set points, but they still have 3 more. Now Howard Guerra has a full front line. You talked about how Medino's so good with the blocking, Yos. And they also have Bembem Bautista there and John Diwa. All right, Caritativo clearing something up, which is causing the delay here with our first referee and then second referee, their position. And they can do that. Who goes where?
Of course, at this stage of the game, they can commit those errors.
Yep.
Positioning errors, of course, they need to pwede lang confirm yun with our referees.
24-21. Spin Doctors in a position to go up 2-1. After losing the first, they've really kicked it up a notch, playing a lot better. This taking a while. Now Coach Calderon speaking to our second referee, Daniel Palada. Coach Ocampo, meanwhile, on your screens. And they're still all confused about who goes where. Both teams coming off losses. The Spin Doctors, they've won 2 games at least. But they lost their last game against the King Crunchers. First referee Jocelyn Del Rosario checking if everything is in order. All right, here we go. And for the fans of the Griffins, you hope they didn't get cold after that really long wait. Good pass by Marmeto, chance to put it away right there. Nope. Wait a minute. There was no block touch. That's what the Griffins were saying. That's why they let the play go. They didn't even make a move. Now they will challenge this because there was no whistle from the referee to stop the play, because initially the Griffins thought it was going to be 4 touches against the Spin Doctors.
But as long as walang pito ang referee, dapat hindi ka tumitigil pa rin. But on that sequence, tumigil lahat ng players dito ng VNS.
Because they're saying nobody touched it. And if they are correct, this review shows they're correct, they will save another set point. Very important challenge and point, especially for the Griffins. I was actually half expecting there to be a whistle as well. It seemed like the hit was low, but I can't really tell if it bounced off, because sometimes the ball is hit, it looks low, but then it bounces from the net to the hands, to the arms, which still qualifies as a block touch.
Ang daming beses na rin nangyayari yun. And we're thankful dahil meron ng challenge for us to confirm for a fair play.
All right, so Rafa Campo and John Patrick de Guzman, head coach, assistant coach. All right. Is that the challenge?
Oh, they challenged the floor touch.
So the challenge was a floor touch. And then I'm looking at the players saying it should have been block touch, the challenge. It was not, and that is water under the bridge. Now a 25-21 win by the Spin Doctors. They're up 2-1 against the Griffins. So here's the tally after that controversial finish in set number 3. The Spin Doctors up 2-1 against the VNS Griffins.
Better blockings for SAVOUGE on that set. But yung coverage, no, hindi nakakuha ng coverage pagkagaling sa block nitong VNS dahil ang lakas ng balik sa kanila pagkagaling sa block nitong SAVOUGE. And better attacking, of course, yung mga transitions nila, no, yung mga choices ng atake, mas nagkakaroon ng malalaking gap sa blockers naman dito ng VNS. Kaya naman ang daming atake ding nakuha dito ng SAVOUGE.
Now we will crunch the numbers, give you a better idea of how the Spin Doctors got the win.
14 attacks for Spin Doctors. Nakalamang pa ng isa pa rin dito ang VNS. And tayo lang sa blockings. But yun nga, no, yung reception, nahihirapan din kasi ang VNS sa reception. Nakakuha ng dalawang service aces dito ang Spin Doctors. And yung errors din na binigay dito ng VNS mas marami compared to SAVOUGE Spin Doctors.
So now after winning the first set, the Griffins a set away from losing their 4th straight game. And remain winless in the competition. You can see Bautista getting very vocal in huddle prior to the 4th set. All smiles though for Mark Calado and the Spin Doctors. Now comfortably up, 2-1. Medino in the starting lineup, along with Book, Villacruzes, Howard Guerra, Diwa, and Ben Bautista. Their starting libero is still Joshua Cruz. Meantime, for the other side, Caritativo, Torres, Bitco, Calado, and Paglaon. Medino, cross court, picked up by Bitco. Caritativo. That one dug by Guerra. The set by Medino to Book against a triple block. And a net touch. They call against Gilles Torres. First point, set number 4, goes to the Griffins. First lead since set number 1 for the Griffins. There's a block touch by Ben Bautista. So Bitco scores to tie the game at 1-1. Caritativo, 16 points. Short pass coming from Book. Bautista, drop. Yes.
This time, it's Bautista. No pancake save for SAVOUGE.
Bautista with 3 points. He's coming off a 7-point performance against USD Gameville. Villacruzes. Torres. The dig goes over. Chance ball for the white shirts. Paglaon, a reverse. Bitco, cross court. Got it.
Still a better transition for SAVOUGE. Daming options dito na pinapakita ng SAVOUGE. Opposite side.
Bitco now with 7. 6 attacks and 1 block. 2 all. Bad pass by Book, and Diwa didn't even make a play for the ball. Torres, that is his second ace. Cruz pops it up. Diwa. There's a dig by Caritativo. Torres to Calado. Easy dig for Cruz. This one too close to the net. There's a block against Medino. Paglaon goes to Reyes. Reyes is blocked. Paglaon all the way out to Calado. Gets across court.
There's a gap on that blockers of VNS. Medyo na out of position din dito yung libero ng VNS.
Now a 2-point lead for the Spin Doctors. Their biggest lead of set 4. Much better pass from Book. Bautista down the line. He misses it.
Great read there by the blocker of SAVOUGE. Kaya kita niya, papaluin na palabas dito ni Bautista. Kaya inilag niya. Yun yung mga hindi natin nakikita so far sa VNS dahil ang daming nakuha ang off-the-block hits dito ng SAVOUGE. Dahil sa mga palong papa-outside na.
Another bad pass by Book. Calado off the block. The run continues for the Spin Doctors, now up by 4.
Calado with that 14th, on his 14th point. 14 attacks for Mark Calado.
4-point run for the white shirts of SAVOUGE. And it only ends because of a service fault, not a side out.
Lucky break for VNS.
Good serve, but a better pass. Bitco turned away, but good coverage by Caritativo. Drop shot by Calado. Almost double contact there against VNS. Combination play. Book with a dig. Cruz passes to Bembem. What a one-handed dig for Caritativo. Marmeto to Calado. Longest rally of the set. Cruz back set. And Bautista with another attack fault.
Too far from the net. Medyo nauna yung approach dito ni Bautista. Kaya nahirapan siya mag-adjust. Dahil galing sa likod yung set.
5-0 run for the Spin Doctors. And a block by Calado on the option by Guerra. Bautista. And again, Caritativo with a wonderful dig in the back zone. Calado turned away. Marmeto saves it. Chance ball for the blue shirts. Howard Guerra underhand pass to Bembem Bautista. Marmeto digs it up. Calado drop shot. Got it. 5-point lead.
Finally, Calado closing that rally with a drop hit.
50 points for Calado. And it's a 5-point lead for the Spin Doctors as we go to our first technical timeout of set number 4.
Back inside the Paco Arena for the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025. Yos, Eric, of the former roster of the VNS Griffins, 4 were retained, including RK Medino, who has always been reliable for the men in the blue shirts. What changed this time around is his leadership na nakukuha nila sa mga kuya nila, such as former Spin Doctors Noy Pedrosa and JD Diwa. In my conversation with Noy Pedrosa, if there's one thing being a former Spin Doctor taught him, is that he wants to improve his skills on leadership. Gusto niyang i-apply yung energy at pagiging vocal inside the courts, exactly what his youthful team needs. Yos, Eric?
All right, maraming salamat, Denise. Here's Bautista with a serve. Paglaon finds Reyes, and the run continues here for the Spin Doctors.
And again, nag-improve talaga din yung reception dito ng SAVOUGE, kaya ang dami nilang set plays na nakukuha. And of course, mas na-maximize nila yung mga middle attackers nila. Even Torres, ang dami na rin puntos kanina.
Good pass by Cruz. And Diwa knocks it in. Second point for Diwa.
Good response there by VNS. Diwa there.
Caritativo blocked. 2-point run for the Griffins.
Once establish ng block dito ang VNS, no? Just like the first set, ang dami lang blocks na nakuha. So far, ayun, pag nakakahabol sila ng block with their Villa Cruces, mas nabubuhayan din sila.
Good up coming from Diwa. Bautista was not ready. That could have been a pipe attack. Bitko. It's on the line.
Inside for SAVOUGE. So far, no, even those back row hits gumagana na for SAVOUGE.
So that point stops the 2-point run of the Griffins. Reyes serving at 10-6. From the back row, Medino got it.
Of course, kailangan gumana ulit dito ni Medino. Dahil isa sa mga inaasahan dito ng VNS.
14 points for Medino. RK Medino coming off an 8-point performance. So this is his second game in double digits. The first one was against the Super Spikers, scoring 11, but a side out for the Spin Doctors.
So far, ang nabago din talaga dito sa SAVOUGE, no? Yung mga middle attackers. Ang dami gumagana ng middle attackers sa kanila. So far, kanina, hindi makakuha ng atake.
Much better pass from Book, and Villacruzes puts it away.
And another good response there for VNS. Dahil hindi lang pwede yung mga outside hitters yung gumagana sa'yo. Of course, yung mga middle attackers.
Villacruzes now at 7. Book has been quiet the last 2 sets. Paglaon finds Torres. Van Book digging it up. Howard Guerra to Ben Bautista. Nowhere to go.
A bit close to the net. Yung set na yun. Hindi masyadong nakakuha ng magandang buwelo dito si Bautista.
So Bitko with his 8th point. That's his second block of the game. Howard Guerra, the reverse. They go to Medino, who's blocked. Cruz with coverage. Guerra this time to Bautista. Through the double block.
Finally, Bautista hitting it off the block.
Three-point deficit to overhaul for Villacruzes and the Griffins. Marmeto, short pass. Paglaon, the reverse. Bitko, rejected. 2-point run for the Griffins.
VNS with 9 total block points. 6 for SAVOUGE.
Block given to Ben Bautista. Point number 5. First block for Bautista. Now it's a 2-point game. Much better pass from Marmeto. Off a combination. Great save by Bautista. Now Medino against the double block. Rejected. Coverage by Diwa. Bautista with a left into the net.
That was too close. The antenna. And yung approach doon ni Bautista medyo papasok. Kaya nahihirapan siya makapag-adjust.
Back to a 3-point deficit for the Griffins. A 3-point lead for Torres and the Spin Doctors. Much better pass from Van Book. And there's a kill by Diwa.
So far for VNS, no, yung mga middle attackers din ay nakakapuntos on this set. Diwa medyo quiet kanina, but so far kailangan din nila si Diwa on this game.
3 points now for Diwa. Good serve from Medino. Combination play. Cruz pops it up. Chance ball.
Ooh.
And that's going to be an overreach for Diwa, clearly. Three-point game still as Imperial and Señoron return for the Spin Doctors.
Once again, Señoron is back for a full frontline attackers for SAVOUGE.
Biggest lead for Imperial and the Spin Doctors, 4 points. They're up by 3. Bautista. Ooh, shut down by Reyes, but the dig is good. Wait a minute. And replay the point because there was an inadvertent whistle by Jocelyn Del Rosario. The block was dug, so the play should have continued. They'll do it all over again. Great pass from the pipe. And there it is. Much better side out from Book.
That's right. They need more of that. Yung mga ganong combination plays kasi medyo nawala din eh dito sa set na to. So far, no? Kaya ngayon, Book on that back row hit, walang blocker.
Back to a 2-point game. This is the closest the Griffins have come since being down by 4. Bautista's got 5. Costly service fault.
Yun naman yung mga hindi na kailangan, no? Dahil naghahabol na rin sila. Hindi lang sa sets and also on this fourth set.
Calado, 15 points. Medino bounces it off the block and scores again.
Still effective ang back row hits dito ng VNS.
15 points now for RK Medino. And this is his highest scoring game of the Invitational Conference. Caritativo off the block. Now 17 for Caritativo. Second technical timeout is the Spin Doctors up by 3 points. Set 4.
Top 5 ko sa Spikers Turf, una is si Kuya Mark Spell. Hindi pa lang ako volleyball, nakikita ko na siya sa TV. Pangalawa is si Kuya Brian Bagunas. Alam naman natin na sobrang lakas niyan. And then yung pangatlo is si Jus Ibanez. All-around player siya. And then si Kuya Retamar. Ang galing yung magbigay ng set. Tapos yung panglima is Kuya Malabunga. Yun lang, kasi ang galing yung mag-block.
Good choices. My Book, you can't go wrong with any of those. Most Alas Pilipinas players. Medino into the net.
I think the set was a bit low for Medino.
Reyes.
Ooh.
Good thing nobody got injured there. A very dangerous move. Book and Bautista both going for the third touch. And ended up in an error. Now this is the biggest lead for the Spin Doctors, up by 5 as Klaus Dais returns along with Noy Pedrosa. Reyes, back-to-back games with 1 point.
Ooh.
Overpass, easy put away. Senyoron. His first point of the Invitational Conference.
Easy point there for Senyoron with that over-receive by VNS.
And the lead is now 6 for the Spin Doctors. Timeout for Coach Ralph Ocampo.
Lagay ko sa yung utak niya na dapat shoulders in front. Paulit-ulit yan eh. Pag inatras niya, with receive. Puro miss receive lang yan, no? Dalawa na lang eh. Tara.
Bakit yung bitawan ka dyan?
Sige. Hanggang dito na.
Well, Coach Ocampo is right. Dalawa lang yung kanina, and now a 4-point run by the Spin Doctors, mostly off miss receives.
That's right. Reminding them, no, yung nasa harap mo talaga dapat yung kamay mo pag magre-receive ka, huwag mo ilalagay masyado sa gilid. Kaya hindi mo makikita yung bola. Yung tendency, tumalsik talaga sa reception.
Reyes. And that is in. No. Just outside. But I saw the scared look on the face of Bautista and Book because they were a little bit unsure as they were backing away. They're so unsure that now here's a challenge. Ball in, ball out challenge by Sidney Calderon, the head coach of the Spin Doctors.
And still, no, very consistent yung target ng SAVOUGE, targeting the outside hitters.
Book.
Kahit sino pa yan, kahit Book pa yan, kanina si Liray, but now Bautista as well.
They have been the most inconsistent with pass reception. this set and this match slipping away from the Griffins. And I say slipping away because they had a really good first set. They won by 5 points. And then they lost by 5 in the second set. Third set going the way of the Griffins. Check that, of the Spin Doctors as well. So it's a 2-1 advantage for these Spin Doctors.
Ooh.
Ooh. Shadow.
Close
Just
call.
a 1 millimeter part of the ball, I guess, when it flattened out. So that's an ace. Now the biggest lead at 7 points for the Spin Doctors. 5 points away from a 4-set win. Cruz, bad receive, and 2 players colliding again. Chance ball here for the Spin Doctors. Imperial goes to the pipe, and Calado nails it down.
2 blockers for Calado with that combination play. Still, no, reception ang problema dito ng VNS.
Now, Klaus Nais and Noy Pedrosa will sit back down. Howard Guerra and RK Medino back in the game. An 8-point deficit against the Griffins. Good serve. Now a chance ball again for the Spin Doctors. Here comes Imperial. Nice block by Villacruzes on Torres, but Torres on the second try puts it in.
Good play there by SAVOUGE still. Torres activated on this game.
Torres with his best scoring game of the conference. He's got 14 points. Prior to today, 12 was his highest. As Renzel Antonio returns today.
Still on the service area. Reyes.
And a block. Torres. Back-to-back points for the Spin Doctors. He's got 15.
15 points for Torres with that one-hand block. 4 points block for Torres.
First double-digit lead of the match. 10-point cushion for the Spin Doctors. 2 points away from winning in 4 sets. Another bad pass, another off-system play, but somehow the talented RK Medino makes something out of nothing.
And, why not? SAVOUGE still needs 2 points. Walang posible dito sa volleyball. They can make a run on this set if they make better reception.
Antonio. Ooh, could have been a lift there. Book will almost cross the center line before the ball dropped. Antonio with another hit. Book will set it up all the way out to Medino.
Ooh.
And a miss hit by RK Medino, and it will be 10 match points for the Spin Doctors.
A miss hit by Medino on that sequence. Sayang, a wasted opportunity for VNS.
Señoron serving for the match. Liray with a very short pass, off-system play. Book. That one dug by Calado. Antonio. That was way short. So 1 match point given up. There are 9 more for the Spin Doctors.
That's too low for Antonio. Kakapasok lang, baka medyo malamig pa.
In the meantime, Liray will sit down. Bautista back in. Serving to stay in this match. Book. Another opportunity to put it away. Can they do it right here? Antonio with a push. One-handed dig for Cruz. Bautista through the double block. Bindiones digs it up. Imperial. Now Antonio, they want him to finish it. Battle at the net. There's a net touch. Called against the Spin Doctors. 2 match points given up. And a timeout here for Coach Sidney Calderon.
Net fault by Spin Doctors. Bago pa makatalon, may tumama na sa net.
i-assume ka lagi na sa'yo ibibigay yung bola. Tapos, yung ibibigay yung bola sa'yo, pag medyo tight at saka pangit yung ano, hanapin mo yung kamay, patama mo doon. Isa na lang tayo. Hey, what's this?
So they really want Renzel Antonio to put the finishing touch to this game. And you heard Coach Calderon say, expect mo palagi na pupunta sa'yo yung bola.
Of course, it's a good opportunity for Antonio.
Yeah. He has not scored in the tournament. In fact, he has not played until today. Missed the first 3 games of the Spin Doctors. And Perian, no, they go to Torres this time. And Torres with his career high. Now check that, maybe season high. 16 points puts the winning point for the Spin Doctors.
Hindi na pinatagal dito ng SAVOUGE at tinanap na agad si Torres, producing 16 points. 10 from attacks, 4 blocks, and 2 service aces for Torres.
One of 3 players in double digits for the Spin Doctors. And another 4-set win, third 4-set win for the Spin Doctors. And bouncing back after losing to the King Crunchers in their last game. The 2025 NBA Emirates Cup is here in Signal. Watch the action this November to December on NBA TV Philippines and Pilipinas Live. Meanwhile, for the Blue Shirts, their 4th straight loss, they remained winless in the Invitational Conference as the Spin Doctors, last year's 3rd placer in the Invitational Conference. There's a confirmation. 4-set win. Spin Doctors against the Griffins.
Welcome back all the way from Paco Arena in Manila for the Spikers Surf Invitational Conference 2025. Our first match of today's triple header. The SAVOUGE Aesthetic Spin Doctors handing the VNS Griffins their consecutive loss in 4 sets. And beside me is our best player of the game, Sherwin Caritativo, with 17 points off 13 attacks, 1 block, and 3 aces. Sherwin, congratulations. First of all, can you tell us ano yung ipinakitang game, no? Ano masasabi mo sa ipinakitang laro ng VNS today?
Ayun, yung maganda naman nilaro namin. Yung first set lang talaga nag-slow start kami, kaya natalo kami ng first set. Pero sabi nga namin, wag mag-relax para mapanalo namin itong remaining games namin.
And personally, how did you adjust dun sa first set na nakuha ng VNS para makuha nyo tong bounce back win nyo?
Ayun, sabi nga namin, ingayan lang sa loob ng court, gaanan lang natin para mabuhay tayo kasi down kami eh. Kaya binuhay talaga namin sa loob ng court. Kaya sobrang ingay ko kanina.
Thank you so much and congratulations, Xiaobi Caritativo of the Aesthetic Spin Doctors. Back to you, Yos and Eric.
All right, thanks, Denise. Congratulations, Xiaobi Caritativo. What a performance today. 17 points, second best scoring game of the Invitational Conference.
Yun yung napansin ko sa kanya, no? Kay Caritativo, medyo slow start sa mga kanyang previous games. And eventually, talagang dun niya lalabas yung game niya pagka nabuhayan na siya. Kaya kitang-kita natin kanina, no? Mas lumabas yung mga madami niyang puntos. Second set pa, third set, fourth set. And of course, sa tulong din ng mga teammates niya, no? Torres as well, scoring double digits on this game. And of course, Calado, producing also 2 points, two digits on this game. And of course, no, yung kinapitalize din nila yung pagiging nawala ng reception dito ng VNS sa mga papuntang third set and fourth set. Medyo nahirapan sa reception dito ang VNS, kaya naman nagsunod-sunod ang puntos dito ng SAVOUGE.
3 players in double digits for the Spin Doctors in this big 4-set win.
That's right, 13 points, 13 attack points for Spin Doctors and 3 blocks compared to 1 itong VNS. Medyo pantay lang sa errors but still, no, dun nakarami ng puntos dito ang Spin Doctors at 8 lang ang nakuha ng VNS. That's because of their service reception. Medyo wala talaga on that fourth set.
So after a 3-set loss against the King Crunchers, Spin Doctors bounce back, get a big win here. They are 3-2 now in the standings, and they drop the Griffins to 0-4. Thanks to our director Nomar Santiago, our game producer Ron Enriquez, for Denise Valdesancho, my partner Yos Yoso, and I'm Eric Iman. Coming up, both teams looking for their second straight win. It is USD Gameville taking on the Alpha Insurance Protectors right here from the Paco Arena on your Signal TV channels.